Hey guys, James Skinner here. So today I'm going to show you how to make a portfolio website. We're going to use Google Slides to, or not Google Slides, Google Websites to basically make your own version of a website so that you can display your artwork and your other pieces and stuff to everyone else in the class. You can share it with others and just basically have an online portfolio for your stuff. So let's go ahead and get started. If you were to open up a new tab, just like the one I have here in Google, and you're signed in with your at Wilson Schools account, or you're signed in with whatever Gmail account that you're using um, for, if you're watching this tutorial or whatnot, you can click on the little tile icon here and you can go to sites, and this will pull you up into the Google Sites things. Now, it might pull you into the old version, which looked like this, or you can go to the new Google Sites, which is the one that I would prefer to use. I like the new Google Sites quite a bit. And so then if you see here, you would see all of your different sites that you have built. I have this one currently built right now, but we're going to build a new one. It's not very difficult. You just go down here to this little red plus sign thing. So create new site, and that'll pull up the new site, and it's actually automatically created for you. But now we have to actually make it look nice. So you'll notice Google Sites is basically a drag and drop editor where you drag different widgets and pre-built code into your site, and then it displays it as you kind of see fit. You can change the color, you can change text, you can change font, you can change just about anything that you kind of want. And you can add a lot of different elements into it. So let's go ahead and get started. Since we're making this as a portfolio, we might want to call it, your name or whatever your art site is. So we'll just call it, oh boy, we'll just call it James C. Skinner Art. Yeah, because we're cool. Now, if I want, I can change the size of my header to have my text fit all on one if I want to do something like that. Or I can have it be on two like it was. I can change the title. I can make it different sizes here. I can center it. I can left justify, right justify, all kind of fun stuff. Um, Easy stuff. And then I can also change this background image. So let's change the image. I can upload or I can select an image from, so let's hit select. So I can choose from the gallery that's already here. I can enter in the URL. I can search online. So let's just see what happens here. I can Google, well, that's not me. So I can Google for lots of different stuff like that. And I can add in from my own albums, and I can add in from Google Drive. So lots of different options here. I'm just going to choose something from their base template here. Let's just go with this one because that looks cool. So boom, and that displays up there. Really nice. And it's like auto kind of like, it can be auto like tinted and stuff so that you can read better. Since this is a stock one, it doesn't need to be doing that. But, uh, you know, all sorts of customizable options are available here. Now, let's get into the actual making it into your portfolio. Lots of different ways to do this. We have all these different layouts options here, and what these are is basically image, text, or however you want to. It's an interactive piece almost, and text piece. So you can see, like, if I hit add it in here, there's my one image piece and then my text piece or whatever, and it's all movable. These are all drag and drop like options here, and easily deletable if you don't like them. For something like a portfolio, maybe we want more images, so we can go and add images in like this, which is great. So if I just hit plus, it allows me to select multiple different things. So I could just say select image, and then we're just going to search by images. So let's search dragon, because why not? And so we can put in a bunch of different dragon art, and I could just do multiple ways. I can select image. I could go for my own albums or for my own Google Drive if I had one. So we'll select my little cat bird there. And you can have like a whole display of images like this just right here. You can change the background color. So we can give it some different emphasis. You can give a background to an image to the background, just like before. So maybe we just want to keep rolling with this cool icy theme since we're in North Dakota. Yeah, any kind of stuff like that. Notice how some images, since they might be actually transparent in the background, will actually show like that. So cool, way to select the right image. But if you just have a generic image, it'll pop like that. Now, this is fine and dandy, and I like the way this looks. However, it's not exactly the most dynamic way to see a bunch of images. This like generic tile format. It works fine, but the problem with it is I can't really zoom in on it. Like the user can't. I could change the size here, I guess, but it doesn't let me, like if I were interacting with the website as a user, do anything with it. So I'm going to try something different. Let's delete this, and I'm going to add in. Let's add in like this feature maybe. And so what I can do here is I could add a doc. So I could go from Google Drive here, and let's just select some, I don't know, just some random thing. So we have this text document here, and I could have an actual text document in here if I wanted to, or I could just put a text box in here. So I could just grab a text box, and we could drag that up into the areas, and then we could do different things like that. But the thing I wanted to show you, let's just delete this, is that we can add from Drive, we could add a Google slide. And I think this is the coolest way to do this. Now I can add in my Google slide, and I can make it fairly large so that it displays very large on my page. And then the cool thing about this is I can make the slide have all of my images on it. So this slide I kind of pre-built earlier, well, it's just a stock, but like say I were to rebuild the slide earlier, it would have all the images that I want on it. And then I can actually have it to auto start and set the time or whatever. So I get 2 seconds, whatever, and it'll cycle through your images. So this is kind of a really cool way to have someone like see a bunch of your images in a more interactive way than just stagnant images. And then if someone wanted to full screen it and see them bigger or whatever, they can. They can actually, open this up full screen and see the whole thing. Or they can even open it up in a new window, which is kind of nice. And then underneath that, I could add maybe individual images or whatever, or I could add a text box, and I can write something about my art, like my art is cool, and just keep going like that. Now, once you have basically built your site, you've put all your pieces in, your different images, your different text, maybe text that's describing your art, that kind of fun stuff. We then want to make sure that people can see this. You have to click the publish button to publish it so that everyone can see this. Google Sites has 2 versions. You have this version, which is the edited version. Like this is where me as the editor, the owner, can go in and edit things and make it look different. And then you have the actual viewed version. You can share this with others. Like you could share it with me, or you could share it with fellow students if you wanted to. But this is actually where you're sharing people to edit it, which is awesome, right? Like you can add me as the editor or whatever into your page, and we can work on it together, or that kind of fun stuff. But really what you want to do is just have it be published, and we can set the name to something. Like you could set it to, James's art or something like that. You could set it to wherever you wanted. And since we're under the FHSU on this situation, but if you're on at Wilson Schools or whatever, it would show up with sites at google.com/this/whatever your name is. So odds are, since we're not like a huge a domain, you could have basically whatever you want. Like if you have a super common name, then you might not get away with it, but it'll check and make sure that your name is something you can do. So like if I just do James, oh, I actually can do that. Well, that's cool. But I can publish it because it's okay. If I were to do something that's taken already, I might not be able to. I don't know what's taken already, but that works out kind of nice. And then that's it. It's published at that site, and then you can check it out. And I can even click the preview version from here, and we can see how the site looks. This is on like large screens, but you can switch to tablet or phone devices. We can see how this looks automatically. I can pause it since it's embedded. It's just kind of nice. Like, oh man, this art piece is awesome. I can pause it. Oh, I can go back and look at all your other art pieces. I can see what they say. It's really cool, really powerful. Notice the image has that little bit of like the text kind of moves on top of the image. That's just a nice little add-on. Google Sites allows for some really gorgeous layouts and views. And hey, look, it even looks good on mobile. That's cool. So yeah, that's basically how you would go about creating your Google site for making a online portfolio.